In what we have defined as a high interactivity set, frequent exchanges take place between the teacher and individual students, as well as among students, either in pairs or divided into groups. Students are called upon to respond to questions and prompts posed by the teacher and to interact and engage in discussion with their peers. This model is easily applicable to small and medium-sized classes, but with careful planning and the support of digital tools, it can also be adopted in larger ones. By increasing the frequency and variety of proposed activities, digital tools can be of great help, providing not only student response systems, but also, for example, collaborative whiteboards that make it easy to collect and organize individual or group input, as well as tools that simplify the process of peer review or peer evaluation. MOOCs and digital content can also support the process of shifting the content delivery phase outside the classroom into the asynchronous online environment, allowing class time to be focused on activities involving the manipulation or application of the content. Spaces can also be helpful, allowing for a dynamic reorganization of the classroom setup, creating work areas for small and large groups, and then returning to a plenary session for sharing and feedback. This type of classroom is characterized by a high level of interactivity during the content gathering phase, alternating with structured moments of discussion and reflection on the proposed topics. To support the gradual memorization of content and consequently the creation of connections between old and new information, the teacher often proposes retrieval, discussion, and reflection activities, both during lessons and between one lesson and the next. The key learning events of this model are 4: highly interactive content gathering, retrieval, discussion, reflection, and metacognition. The teacher structures the content gathering moments by frequently proposing activities aimed at presenting new concepts, data, methods, and processes to the students, while immediately encouraging the creation of a connection with personal experiences and prior knowledge, and prompting reflection and an initial manipulation of the new information. In highly interactive classrooms, retrieval moments can prove to be essential for encouraging an initial memorization of the content, and they can also be integrated with other activities to recall previously covered concepts and create the conditions for more effective work. If one decides to design highly interactive lessons, it is also possible to include discussion activities in the course with the aim of encouraging students to reflect and engage in dialogue in order to develop critical thinking about the proposed content. The task is to manipulate concepts, in fact, organizing them, formulating arguments, integrating insights from other students, and also evaluating different points of view allows for an exploration of the complexity of the subject at hand. This stimulates deep processing and structuring of the content in relation to one's own knowledge and experiences, while also engaging an emotional dimension that supports memory retention. Offering many activities during lessons is certainly an advantage for students, but we must remember that it can also create confusion, especially if attention is not paid to highlighting the key topics. It can therefore be very useful to include moments, even brief ones, of reflection or metacognition on what has been done. Discussion, reflection, and metacognition activities could be conducted online because the use of breakout rooms and shared whiteboards facilitates their management. In the high interactivity setup, asynchronous activities can expand the dynamics that are activated during synchronous moments. It is possible, for example, to introduce theoretical content in asynchronous online settings through videos or online materials, which can then be explored in greater depth during synchronous lessons. Alternatively, part of the content can be assigned to students for independent study, for instance through a MOOC, thereby fostering the often overlooked skill of learning to learn, which is clearly emphasized by the Dublin descriptors. Or further, to encourage independent reflection on what has been learned. For example, by asking students to identify the pros and cons of an approach, topic, or situation, or by having them explore the key points of a subject using the logic of the 5 W's: why, what, when, where, who. Finally, it is very important to plan formative assessment strategies that connect the various proposed activities in a coherent flow. Moreover, it is important that the formative assessment is aligned with the summative assessment of the course,